everybody. Welcome to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and welcome to the third race of the weekend here at the Nürburgring. I'm Chaz Draycott.
I'm Louise Schofield, and it's getting ready, raring to go. I love this part where everyone gets to chat to the teams and the drivers, and I think it's my favourite part of the weekend, this, I think.
Yeah, really good. It's fantastic being on the grid, and it's a wonderful spectacle to see, to have all of our racing trucks all together, these massive machines all lined up and ready to go. And speaking of lined up and ready to go, we're going to speak to one of the drivers from the front row of the grid who is lined up and ready to go, so we'll get on walkies and go and speak to Jochen Hahn.
Walkies.
He didn't have the best of days yesterday, did he?
No, he didn't, but it was nice to chat to him. He did get podium, which was nice, so he had a little bit, but there's always the ups and downs, isn't he?
I thought he was going to be in his truck, but he's not actually here. Where's Jochen?
Is he taking some photos?
Oh, he's over here. My bad. Where is he? Where did he go? Oh, he's walked off.
He's walked off.
He's walked off. He's
we're going to go
here.
to truck 30. I think we're going to go and have a little chat.
He's behind truck 30. I'm going to run after Jochen.
There he is. He's hiding.
I don't often run, so you better enjoy watching this. Oh, he's going that way round now. Jochen! Jochen! Will you slow down, sir?
What?
I just went looking for you at your truck and you weren't there.
I don't see you, but now I smell you, yes.
How are you? You must be a bit happier today being on the front row of the grid.
No, it's not, it's the front row, but it means nothing in the end. So we are both four trucks on the same level, so it means we must do it concentrated, the green flag comes and we make the race. And when we see yesterday, we all four in the first two rows make it with a lot of respect, so funny, we make racing.
We make racing, as you always say. It seemed like a bit of a difficult day yesterday, but in the end you figured it out. Was there anything that you did differently?
We changed something, yes, but in the end, you can ask Sasha. In the end, the driver must do it, and the drivers are not without mistakes. So, 1 tenth per second, it's a mistake in the end. So every time possible. 2 tenths every time possible.
Well, best of luck in the race. And Sasha, quickly coming to you, you've got a very busy weekend here with 2 championships in one weekend. You must be really tired by now.
Yes, I'm really tired, and I hope I have a nice start and I can drive my position. Maybe I can go a little bit forward, but in this moment I'm really happy, but a little bit tired. But that's life. Now it's racing.
Well, good luck, Sasha. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, fantastic to hear from both of them. 2 interviews for one.
Absolutely, and getting the shade of the truck there is our Sasha. There we go, you got to do it, haven't you? Now, we do have a little behind-the-scenes look now at the scrutineering process with the FIA. This is really interesting. Check it out.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nürburgring. My name is Franz Steilberg. I'm the technical delegate for the European Truck Racing Championship, and I will run you through a bit of scrutineering. In general, we have 2 kinds of scrutineering. One is the preliminary scrutineering, which takes place at the first day of the event before the trucks are actually allowed to go on the track. And the second part is then the eligibility scrutineering, where we make sure that they still use all the required safety, but as well make sure that everybody stays within the regulations and doesn't cheat. So everything starts with the preliminary scrutineering, which is the scrutineering taking place before the event, before the trucks actually go onto the track. They come into the scrutineering bay and the local scrutineers check all the safety equipment mainly, but as well the eligibility of the truck. So we have a scrutineering sheet which they follow up on, which there's a lot of stuff to fill in and a lot of standards to fill in. And on the end of the day, if we are happy, the competitor signs the form and therefore he is then allowed to take part in the event. The second part of the scrutineering is the post-session scrutineering, which is a scrutineering which takes place after a race or a qualifying, where we still check the required safety items, but as well the eligibility of the truck to make sure that they all stay within the regulations. We have a form where we then check or decide what we check, which trucks we pick up, different requirements which get checked. So when we bring in the truck on the scales, they come out, we weigh them, then the competitor gets a printout afterwards so that he knows what weight he was and if he's compliant. This is the first step, and then we have various tools like a camber tool, a caster tool, fuel test equipment, everything here to check to make sure that they all stay in the same regulations and nobody's cheating. Okay, so when all the checks are done and everything complies with the regulations, we'll release the trucks back to their paddock, still under Park for May conditions. So now you understand how important it is, the work of the technical officials, the scrutineers, to ensure that the trucks are safe, but as well that they are complying with all the regulations and everybody is on the same level of fairness.
And there we go. When we talk about the one truck family, that is exactly what we mean. There is so much that goes on behind the scenes, and it's great to hear all the technicalities and how it all works. I find it extremely interesting. Now, we do have René Reinhardt here for us. I'm just going to grab him because he's going to get back in his truck soon. René, how are you feeling today? You good?
No.
Not today, no, not a good one.
I guess I went early to sleep yesterday, so I feel a little bit tired.
Oh, do you?
Huh?
What peps you up before? Is there anything that you can get like energy?
Yeah. I make some jumps.
Hopefully not inside the truck.
Espresso, some chocolate, yes.
That's what we love to see.
Yes.
So obviously, yeah, like yesterday went quite well, didn't it, for you? So do you seem quite pleased? And is it kind of good and positive going into today?
Yeah, it's the same starting position like yesterday, 5th place. Actually, it's better to be on the outside here in the first corner, but I'm again at the inside, and then I hope I can do it better. Yesterday I got a punch from Lucas.
Yeah.
He's again behind me, so I hope we'll be a little bit better the start today. But at the end, to stay in the top 8, if you lose 1 or 2 positions, then you are in the second race. In the front is also not so bad.
Absolutely. Well, you held your position beautifully yesterday as well, so it was really, really good. I mean, the conditions are very similar as well. Do the conditions cause anything for you, or is it pretty normal?
Yeah, the first races was also very hot, I like it more to drive in normal conditions, like 20 degrees or something like that, not too hot, not too cold. It's easier with the tire handling. It's all the time a little bit problem with the brakes, tires and everything, so you have to take care a lot and all the time, to see how you can go to the limit, where you have to brake, and it's during the race change a lot, these things, This is a little bit more difficult, but it's for everybody it's the same, and we have to handle it.
That's exactly it. I know, we're all on the same boat. Is there anyone you're looking out for on the track today you think is going to give you a little bit of hopefully no one bangs into you today, that would be good. Hopefully Lucas won't come at you again.
Well, my best friend is next to me, We had already in the last year and also this year in Slovakia a crash, He's a young driver. Sometimes he wants too much. So I hope with him it will be good, the first corners. And then, in the front, they also are fighting hard for the positions, and sometimes they also make a mistake or something like that, or they go out, so we have to be close to them. And then if there's a chance, then goes through.
And you've got the look of the seventh birthday today with your little boy, haven't you?
Yeah, it was a really nice birthday yesterday, and everyone was singing the happy birthday, and it was cool, yeah.
The one truck family, this is what I mean, it's what we all talk about. Let's go. René, best of luck. Thank you so much for chatting to me. Thank you so much. There we go. Oh, here we are. It's all kicking off, and that is absolutely gorgeous. You've got to have the 7th birthday look on your side, which is really nice. I think they're all getting ready to go. Everyone is starting to come off the grid now. But I think what's lovely about the Nürburgring is there are so many fans here. And of course, with all our German drivers, they're loving to see. So I think it's going to be really nice. So there we go. And we are going to be introducing you to... Here we go. So we are now getting ready. Luis Goforth here with the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. We're here on the grid. We're here for race 3. It is all about to start. And we do have Lucas Hahn here. We're going to have a quick chat with before we crack on. Lucas, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I think we have a good position. We need to be concentrated, have no struggle in the first corner, so we have a safe and good race and have a good result in the end.
You can look out for René Reinhardt today, because there was a little bit of a bump in between yesterday, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was a pity, but now it's a new day. We don't want to do it again. want to be safe and have a good result, as I said before.
Lucas, well, best of luck for race 3. Enjoy. There we go. Right, we're going to get Chaz to continue with proceedings now.
Thank you very much, Louise. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the third race of the weekend here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. I'm Chaz Draycott, happy to be on site at the Nürburgring once again at this wonderful Truck Grand Prix, the 40th year of the Truck Grand Prix here at this fantastic circuit. And we are looking forward to a lovely, lovely race day to get underway. We're going to look at the track itself that we're racing on here. It's not the full Grand Prix circuit here at the Nürburgring. As you can see, the Michael Schumacher S down to the Goodyear Kehrer has been turned into the Mullenbach Schleifer Festival for the weekend, which is an absolute riot. We were there yesterday. You'll be seeing clips of that, I'm sure, over on the socials and potentially on the stream later on this afternoon. But this circuit is a big, demanding one. The laps are still around 1 minute and 50 seconds in our trucks, and despite not using the full Grand Prix circuit, the drivers have a lot to think about. There's a lot of heavy braking zones here, hairpins, chicanes, and a very, very big braking zone into a very small chicane near the end of the lap. And of course, the final corner, oh so important here to make sure that you get a good run down towards that very first corner at the Mercedes Arena. It's 25 degrees air temperature at the moment. Let me tell you, as a Brit, it feels like a lot more than that right now. It is mighty toasty, but look how gorgeous the scenery is here at the Nürburgring. It's like postcards were invented to show people pictures of this place. It is absolutely delightful. It's delightful also to have Adam Lachko back with us on the grid for this round of the championship. Adam was the champion of the series in 2017, driving a Freightliner for Goodyear back then. He's still with Goodyear ZM Racing, and he's wanted to make a return to the series with this round. And we're going to go a bit further down the order into the 12th position to speak to Bradley Smith. He's with Louise.
Yeah, I've got Bradley Smith here with me. Bradley, how are you feeling?
Yeah, no, feeling good.
Yeah.
Hot today.
It is, yeah.
But no, yeah, just look forward to the race. It's going to be good. Not the best qualifying, but we'll see what we can do. Just try and keep the truck, try not to overheat it, and yeah, try and be strong at the end of the race.
And that's the thing, isn't it, with the conditions being so hot? I mean, sometimes it's been like that for the last 3 weekends as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, it's been really hot. So yeah, that's extremely, like, this track is the lowest grip out of all the ones so far. So just you can easily overheat your tyres, and then you're on the back foot then. So it's just keeping the fine level, which is hard.
Painting the track as well, which is nice as you go. Thank you so much, Bradley. Cheers. There we go. Right, we're getting started, ready to go. So Chaz, it's back to you.
Thank you, Louise. Thank you very much, Bradley. Great to hear from him. There is Clemens Hecker's Scania, the number 25 machine. Charlotte, my girlfriend, and I went to speak to them earlier on and confronted them about the lack of number on the windscreen, and they were all too proud to show us earlier on when they got to the grid that they have that sticker now in place, ready to go. There is the fifth wheel on the back of the truck, the Total Energies 100% renewable HVO diesel fifth wheel. I love that they've got these branded fifth wheels on them, and it certainly looks the interesting part. Ties all the trucks together very nicely as well. The championship has a lot of fine details in it to make sure that you know which championship these trucks are racing in. We have all the number boards on the machines, all the windscreen numbers are all the same font, you know, things like the tiny details in the display of these machines is what really ties them together. But Total Energies, of course, a key partner of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and we have those wonderful fifth wheels. There's Javier Martin from Goodyear giving us a thumbs up as he leaves the grid. And everybody, as you can see, has now been asked to leave the grid in the final moments. Just saw a good friend of mine, Daryl Stamp, there from Luke Garrett's team, funnily enough. Let's have a look at the starting grid for the third race of the weekend, race one of the day. The front row is occupied by Norbert Kiss, championship leader, and Jochen Hahn alongside him. Jochen fourth in the championship at the moment. Sasha Lenz is then alongside Antonio Albacete. We spoke to Sasha before, and he's hoping for an easy race today. René Reiner is next up in fifth with Jose Eduardo Rodriguez alongside him. Row 4 is Mark Taylor and Lucas Hahn, the two drivers hoping to battle for the chrome lead in this one. Steffi Halm is next up with John Newell in 10th. He was hoping to improve his qualifying pace, and he's done okay there. Adam Lachko is 11th alongside Bradley Smith, who Louise just spoke to a moment ago. Jonathan Andre is then in 13th place, a bit under the radar this weekend, alongside Louis Requenco, who apparently is under investigation. We'll explain that in a moment. We've got Clemens Hecker in the 8th row of the grid with Luke Garrett alongside him. Then we have Stefan Kirsch in 17th place alongside Emma Mäkinen, and then Stefan Faas, who didn't take part in qualifying, is joining us at the back of the grid. He had to basically ask the stewards if he was okay to race after making repairs to the truck earlier on. Another technical issue, unfortunately, for Stefan. He's had quite a good season so far in the chrome category. So far at the moment he has 3 podium finishes, but he hasn't had one since the second race at the Slovakia ring. He is now 4 races without a podium in class. He's only had the 1 DNF this year though, and considering how badly it went at the start of the year last year with that new truck, where I think he finished 1 race out of the first 10, he has definitely turned that around. As you can see though, it's bright and beautiful down there on the grid at the moment. The fantastic sunshine we have here at the Nürburgring is not typical to this racing circuit. Ask anybody about the weather at the Nürburgring and they'll tell you that it could rain or it could snow at any moment, even when the sky looks like it does now. There's Jonathan Andre and his team. You can see Tony Idden there and Ignacio Fernandez walking away from the grid. And there is the Mad Croc, which is the little board to say don't go anywhere, to Emma Mäkinen. She will start this race 18th on the grid, looking to enjoy another race behind the wheel of the Iveco in that fantastic liveried machine. I imagine being Finnish, it's a very hot weekend for Emma here at the Nürburgring right now, with it being nearly 30 degrees outside. All of the fans don't care about the heat though. You can see they are on the top of the gantry, and there, look, the gorgeous castle in the background. A fantastic shot there by our camera operator. Lovely scenery here at the track. More fans there. I believe these fans are on the outside of turn 5 on the way into the hairpin, and very often after the races you can hear them all shouting and cheering away as the drivers make their way in. The personnel now make their way off the grid. I think I could just see maybe Mark Henrici in the background there, walking off the grid for a moment. It'd be great to catch up with Mark this weekend if he's sticking around. Obviously, very prevalent figure here at the Nürburgring. He's always around, but you never know what happens on a race weekend with GT Masters here and his team working all around the clock. I'm sure he'll be a busy boy indeed. But the grid will very quickly get cleared, and I don't blame all of the fans for having the umbrellas out. It is very intense out there at the moment, the sunshine. But it makes it all the more interesting for the racing. People seem to think that motorsport only gets more interesting if it rains or if there's more adverse weather conditions. But just when it's hot, it can be as interesting as well, because tyre life is a question that comes into the fray, effectively. Goodyear obviously make us a very durable tyre that can be used in these hot conditions and in wet weather conditions as well. It's a 60% sustainable tyre that they've brought to the championship this year. But even still, you have to think about how they last over the course of a race. What teams tend to do is have just one set of new tyres for each race day. So they will get some on potentially the Friday. They'll use them in practice and in the warm-up, and then into qualifying race 1 and race 2. And then they'll get a new set on the truck and get ready for Sunday with some fresh rubber underneath them. As you can see, the grandstand's very full at the moment. All the gantry along the top, the AMG lounge up there, and the Goodyear lounge that they have is all absolutely packed. We've got the 1 minute board. Just a moment ago, we have 30 seconds left to go before the field will make their way off the grid. And then we will be led away by the pace truck, the official pace truck of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. We'll talk about that more in just a moment. All 19 trucks, I'm happy to say, are on the grid, so we have a full complement for this third race of the weekend. I'm excited to see what the drivers make of it and what sort of performances they can put in. Of course, they need to think about the fact that this sets them up for later on in the day. They have to think about the reverse grid. And the pace truck leads us away, driven by Nico. After talking about Nico for many years, I finally, like I say, got the opportunity to meet him on Friday. It was great to have a chat with him. And he has the wonderful job of driving the official pace truck, which is the Iveco SE-Way 100% electric machine. Iveco, a fantastic committed partner of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And after providing us with the glorious bio-LNG powered Iveco S-Way for many years, they now have this fantastic facelifted version of the Iveco SE-Way. I asked Pamela Paratico from Iveco, and asked Nico and Patrick as well, if the front end that we see on this truck, which I'm a huge fan of, will be appearing on any of the diesel trucks, and he says that they often get that question from customers as well, actually, but it's not planned to be something that they bring to the diesel side, because it's a different way of managing air and managing cooling, and whether that comes down to an aerodynamic perspective or just cooling, it's something that suits the electric truck a lot more than it would a diesel truck. So it's potentially something they will look at, but for now the general consensus is that this will be unique to the Iveco S E-Way. There is Luke Garrett, truck number 42. We went to speak to Luke this morning just to ask how he was. He was a little bit disappointed yesterday. They had a front axle that was 30 millimeters too wide, and they were disqualified from the second race of the day. So that was 2 disqualifications after Mark Taylor also got disqualified. So interesting to see in the Chrome Championship that things have changed. That does mean, as I alluded to yesterday afternoon, that John Newell now leads the Chrome Championship by 1 point from Mark Taylor. Stefan Fass is then, well, 28 points back behind them. And then Bradley Smith is only another 8 points behind Stefan. So it's close between those guys at the moment. Bradley is then only 7 ahead of Lucas Hahn, who is only 6 ahead of Luke Garrett, who is only 3 ahead of Louis Rikwenko. So it's mighty close in Chrome at the minute. But John Newell, with fantastic consistency, top 5 in every race in Chrome this season, and 8 podium finishes out of 10 races. He's on a really, really good charge. Mark Taylor may have won 4 races in Chrome so far this season, but he's had a 6th, an 8th, and a disqualification, which means that he unfortunately has dropped back to second place despite those multiple wins. Lucas Hahn has had 3 wins in Chrome this year, but of course is a race-by-race entrant, so he's not with us for every single round. So once again we have Norbert Kish and Jochen Hahn side by side on the front row of the grid. It's something that we've seen a lot in the last few years, but it's always great to see these 2 titans go head to head. I think these 2 drivers in particular really embody the name of that top category of titans. 7 championships for Norbert Kish, 6 championships for Jochen Hahn. And these 2 absolute kings of their sport will go head to head here in the 3rd race at the Nürburgring at the Truck Grand Prix, and race number 3 in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship gets underway here from the Nürburgring, the 11th race of the season. And once again, Jochen Hahn is able to stay side by side with Norbert Kish, nice and even down in towards the first corner. All the trucks nosedive their way into the heavy braking zone. The whole top 10 staying 2 by 2. A little bit of contact in the background there. Stefan Kirsch getting into the back of Jonathan Andre. A bit of debris goes flying. A bit of damage there to the back of the truck ahead of them, which I think was Adam Lachko. Oh, there is actually damage with Lachko. I think Lachko and Lucas Hahn got side by side there and stuck together. Hopefully they were both able to continue. I thought Lachko had dropped down a bit, but it was actually Emma Mäkinen that was involved in that contact towards the tail end of the order. Sascha Lenz there sliding his way down the inside of René Reinert. Oh, it's Steffi Halm. Steffi Halm is involved in that one, and she has a big amount of damage to the left-hand side of the truck. She hasn't gotten going again, so we'll see whether it is the case, whether she manages to get back into the pits, but that certainly looked like day done, or race done at least for Steffi. They've got time to fix the truck between now and the next race. I didn't quite see who else was in that. I don't know whether it was Lucas or whether it was Adam. We'll have to see. There's a number of Ivecos with very similar liveries here, so please forgive me, but yeah, there was certainly a lot of movement in the pack there. And there is the side of Steffi's machine smashed in, that bodywork completely damaged on the left-hand side. And we'll see whether she can make it back round, but she was crawling through the Mercedes arena. We've got Norbert Kish still leading Jochen Hahn, then Antonio Albacete has Sascha Lenz, René Reinert, Mark Taylor, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez all closing in behind. Bradley Smith is ahead of Adam Lachko. It's Lucas Hahn that's dropped a number of positions, so I imagine it was him and Steffi that made the contact together, because suddenly Lachko is up into 9th place after qualifying 11th on the grid. So I don't think that we would have had Adam having that sort of incident and then gaining places as a result. In the background, it looks like there's a battle between Louis Rikwenko and Emma Mäkinen right at the tail end of the order. Steffi Halm still hasn't made it round through the first sector. In fact, she has actually made it around the first sector. She has gotten going again. She's currently going through sector 2 according to the timing map that we have, but it's not tracked perfectly. It's just basically per sector. There's all the bodywork from Jonathan Andre's truck being thrown around on the exit of turn 1. Clemens Hecker here having a scrap with Lucas Hahn. I think Luke trying to regain some places, try and get back up the order. Clemens gives him a bit of a bump into there. I think he'll feel that Lucas moved across in front of him and got on the brakes early. Stefan Kirsch is under investigation for overspeeding. Clemens Hecker runs wide. I think there was a bit more contact with Lucas Hahn there, and John Newell, championship leader in the Chrome class, goes back through. I think John was held up a little bit in the incident on the opening lap, so he needs to gain some places back now. He was down into 12th position. There's an incident, yes, between 44 and 22 is under investigation, so that is Lucas Hahn and Steffi Halm that are under investigation at this point. Norbert Kish leads the way. It's been a very straightforward race from where he, Jochen Hahn, Antonio Albacetti and Sascha Lenz are concerned. René Reinert has gotten away from Mark Taylor a little bit, but that does mean again that Mark Taylor is now in the lead in the Chrome class in this race. Let's have a look at this start again then, just to show you how it all went. So watch the yellow truck at the back, big hit from Jonathan Andre, and then watch Steffi Halm and Lucas Hahn, the white and red Ivecos. Oh, Lucas, oh wow, it's a big hit in the left rear of Steffi's truck. And it's a miracle nobody else hits her, but John Newell is the one that goes around the outside and tries to avoid the incident, and as a result loses places. Steffi has done a lap, and she's carried on, in fact, actually. I thought she would have come into the pit lane, but she got the truck going again, but has continued to circulate by the look of it. Yeah, Lucas, by the look of it, as he snatched another gear and he went up a gear, the truck sort of hopped forward and just smashed into the side of Steffi's machine. That'll be an interesting debrief between the two stablemates. Of course, Steffi teammates with Lucas's father, Jochen. Lucas running as a race-by-race entrant, not really involved with anyone in terms of the team's championship, but he's effectively teammates with Steffi Halm, so that one may not go down too well. We'll have to see what they think of that later on. René Reinert there, truck 77. While I was getting nerdy about stickers earlier today, I mentioned that René doesn't have the white outline around his race number on his windscreen. Sascha Lenz doesn't have the correct font numbers either, but that's not for me to get people in trouble over. Sascha having to look at his mirrors at the moment. He doesn't care about the windscreen. He's having a look at René Reinert putting the pressure on him. A reminder that you can watch our wonderful documentary, One Truck Family, over on YouTube. And there's a QR code on screen for you now to scan and go and watch that. After this race, of course, we've got a good while between this race and the next one, so make sure that you keep an eye on proceedings. There is Norbert Kish leading the way on lap 3 through the chicane, nice and tidy, a big hop, skip and a jump over the curbs. Those two sausage curbs connect very well together as you go through the right hand side. Can't see a thing because of all the dust. There's been a 5-second penalty applied to Stefan Kirsch for overspeeding, so that will get applied after his race time. Great to see Mark Taylor and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez having a good scrap in the background. Those two are teammates for this year. I think a driver that will be struggling to accept this so far will be John Newell. He's in 11th position and currently finds himself in what will be 4th place in Chrome, because he's behind Lucas Hahn, he's behind Bradley Smith, and he's behind Mark Taylor. So John will most definitely lose the championship lead in Chrome, and there is Steffi Halm's number 44 Iveco heading back into the paddock. That is a big shame. Also under investigation for overspeeding is René Reinert, truck 77. He's being looked at for going too quickly and exceeding the 160 km/h limit. And as I said earlier in the day, it's very often the case that if they are under investigation for overspeeding, it's pretty black and white that they have been overspeeding, because it's a GPS system and it reports very accurately. So if they've had a problem, then that is pretty straightforward. Sascha Lenz are a little bit sideways. But Norbert Kish opening up his advantage at the front of the field. Jochen Hahn 2nd place. Stefan Kirsch is around. Stefan Kirsch facing the wrong way at the hairpin. Not quite sure if he's had a spin on his own there, or whether anybody else has lost a lot of time in the first sector. Let me have a look. It looks like Louis Requenco has, and there we go. Louis, he loses it down the inside into the right rear of Stefan Kirsch, and around he goes. Very dramatic stuff. Fantastic to get a replay, but not just a replay, but one in slow motion as well. Stefan Kirsch does a good job to not allow the truck to come back onto the circuit, but Rykwenko slides sideways into him and tips him off the road. There's the battle between Mark Taylor and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Those two side by side-ish down the straight. Jose Eduardo just moving out to the right-hand side to make sure he doesn't get stuck in the hot air behind Mark's machine. There's the pair of Ivecos further back. Adam Lachko with Lucas Hahn just behind him. I'm sure Lucas will be very happy and very confident to be fighting against the 2017 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Champion. Lucas will be full of confidence. We know just how fast Lucas is. He's proving it again. We've had a warning for Stefan Faas, who is up to 15th position for penalty markers in turn 10. A great scrap going on here between the two teammates. Mark will be really happy with the pace of his truck in this race to have another fight with Jose Eduardo and continue to hold him off. Bradley Smith will be chuffed to be in second place in Chrome at the moment, with Lachko and Lucas Hahn next behind him on the road. But it seems like Bradley's got a bit of a safety net at the minute. He's got a good couple of seconds to the drivers behind. There is Lucas in the mix. Interested to see just how little damage he has to that truck after the massive contact he had earlier. Now, an interesting situation has just developed here, because Bradley Smith is currently in 8th place, which will give him pole position for race 2. But René Reiner has just been given a 5-second penalty. So René Reiner at 7.7 seconds off Norbert Kish. So 12.7 seconds would still put him in front of Bradley Smith, actually. So he's not going to lose many positions there. But Mark Taylor and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez will both gain a position. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez again moves over to the right-hand side. Lucas Hahn over to the right now as well, trying to get past Adam Lachko. John Newell right behind them, trying to put pressure on as well. The three of them are very glued together, aren't they, at this point of the race? I'm just looking at sector times, sorry, I was slightly distracted by the numbers, just to try and see if anybody is really breaking away in any particular parts of the track. Sector 2 seems very even throughout the whole field, just a couple of tenths of a second separating the fastest from the slowest drivers through there. But Norbert Kish is continually faster than everybody in the first sector of the lap. Loads of dust being kicked up again through that sector of the circuit. But at the minute, we've got a couple of battles starting to shape up, but right now there's not a massive amount of position changing going on. It's all nice and clean, like the 100% renewable HVO diesel that we run all of our racing trucks on. You can hear the horns sounding in the background as the fans enjoy themselves on that part of the circuit. Lucas Hahn trying this way and that way to get past Adam Lachko. At the moment, though, Norbert Kish 4 seconds clear at the front of the pack. I wish, well, I bet Adam Lachko wishes that he was 4 seconds clear of Lucas Hahn. Again, though, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez not quite able to get with Mark Taylor here. I think he's doing a really good job, is Mark. But Adam Lachko holding on in front of Lucas Hahn. As, oh dearie me, well, the 5-second penalty, you're about to see it come up on screen. There it is. The drive-through penalty for René Reiner has been issued, so that really amplifies what was originally just a 5-second penalty. And he will now drop down even further. There's a lovely slow-motion shot of the two Ivecos bouncing their way over the curbs. Look at the way that the bodywork just clips the tyres. They've got such tiny tolerances with the bodywork and the tyres there. It's fantastic to watch. You can see the bodywork on Adam Lachko's machine floating around. These guys are very close together, but like I say, no changes in position just yet. And they continue to battle. As they head now back towards turn 9. As a reminder on your screen that you can watch the One Truck Family documentary. It's available on YouTube now. You can scan the QR code and go and watch that for yourself if you want to between the races. It's a wonderful watch, unless you don't like the sound of my voice. Norbert Kish across the line. Let's see what the gap is this time. It was 4.4 seconds previously, now nearly 4.7 seconds. So he's continuing to just chip away the odd tenth of a second here and there. He was actually 6 tenths quicker than Jochen Hahn on that last lap. Side by side across the line goes Taylor and Rodriguez, the two teammates. These two still not swapping places here. Lucas Hahn and Adam Lachko. Adam doing everything in his power to keep Lucas behind. Lucas doing everything in his power to fill his mirrors as much as possible. Mark Taylor still has his teammate behind him. You'll see, I think it's just on the wheel arch, they both have the same sticker that says Taylor and Rodriguez. The little team sticker on the pair of them. Again, Taylor's Truck Sport doing a wonderful job. It's just that gap in front of them now to Sascha Lenz opening up slightly, but Mark will be happy with a top 5 finish overall. He's had 3 of them so far this season and an overall podium finish. They still aren't swapping places at all. They're just having this lovely little scrap, but they're just chasing each other at this moment. There's a very large amount of cat and mouse going on in this race. Not too much position swapping. Stefan Faas, I think, has just lost a position to Luke Garrett further down the order. In fact, Clemens Hecker is starting to drop down slightly. It's looking like Hecker hasn't made it through Sector 1. In fact, just keeping an eye on the timing map, and Clemens Hecker has dropped down, seemingly not making it through that first sector. Look at Jonathan Andre's truck with all the damage on the front of it. Very heavily damaged. It's Rene Reinert actually that's gotten ahead of Luke Garrett after serving his drive-through penalty. He's been through the pits and he has now come back out on track and hasn't actually dropped all the way to the back of the field. He's done a good job there. But Norbert Kish has the fastest lap of the race, no surprise. Doing a very, very good job. 1:54.5 for him on that previous lap. But we wait to see if there will be a big move from Lucas Hahn here on Adam Lachko. I'm excited to see whether... Oh, there it is. He's actually just had a look down the inside in the background there as we see Bradley Smith turning through turns 5 and 6. Lucas tried it but didn't get down the inside of Adam in the end. He managed to just hold station. But look at this now. John Newell is very much in the mix for an overall place here. Now, if this goes wrong for either of these guys in front, John could very easily find himself on reverse grid pole position. We've got Adam Lachko currently running in 8th place. He'll be on pole position for race number 2. Or, well, race number 2 of the day, race number 4 of the weekend later on this afternoon. But otherwise, it's going to be Lucas Hahn and John Newell trying to take that place away from him. Still, Mark Taylor holds on in front of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. The two of them working very hard, as you can see. Really pushing their luck. And you can see actually that Jose Eduardo has lost a little bit of ground. And now that gives Mark Taylor a little bit more breathing room. I bet that's a good selfie. A little bit of breathing room there for Mark Taylor. I'm intrigued by what's happened to Clemens Hecker, because again, that truck has not come round out of the final sector. And don't forget that as this is the third race of the weekend, our professional panel will be selecting their drivers for the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, which you'll be able to vote for during the fourth and final race of the weekend once the nominees are in. There is an anonymous panel that will be selecting the drivers coming into the last race of the weekend for that prestigious Goodyear Wingfoot Award, and a free set of tyres for the team as well. So there's a fantastic prize behind it, and it's given to the drivers and the teams that put in a fantastic effort all weekend and really embody the One Truck family, whether it be sporting behaviour on or off the track, whether it's just hard work and good results. It's not always based on just results though. You know, if there is a team that has had even just a difficult night, maybe something like a little technical failure, something that wasn't their fault, and then they've worked really hard to have a good day and come back from it on a Sunday, you know, really turn their weekend around. It's to highlight fantastic teamwork and performance like that. Adam Lachko and Lucas Hahn are still very much stuck together here. They're doing a great job at fighting each other with not much change. Antonio Albacete will be very happy as well in this race. He's been a bit under the radar at the moment, but I know that he will be a happy boy here, and so will Tim Frost. I can hear him smiling from here, because they are keeping up with Jochen Hahn very well here. And it's certainly another example of what they showed in race 2 yesterday, is that they, even though they got overtaken by Jochen, he knows that he's got the pace, does Antonio, and they're able to stick with them with that truck underneath him. It's great to see it. Sasha Lenz has faded away a little bit from that battle, but he did say earlier he was very tired. He's had a really tough weekend, racing in 2 different championships on the same weekend. We're on to lap 11 out of 12 here at the Nürburgring in race number 3 of the day, and there's not been many position changes for a bit now, so I think some of the drivers are going to start to ramp this up now into the final moments and really push for the extra spot, the extra result. John Newell is trying to make a move here on Lucas Hahn. Adam Lachko just in front of them. He's going to be hoping now that John and Lucas have a good scrap and that he can try and break away slightly. But John is using all of that 100% renewable HVO diesel and catching up with the back of Lucas after the battle has held him back slightly. But Norbert Kish now leading the way by over 5.5 seconds from Jochen Hahn. Antonio Albacete is around a second back, but still close to the number 2 machine. But Norby once again showing us how it's done in races 1 and 3 of a weekend. He won't take the clean sweep here this weekend after a 4th place in race number 2 yesterday, round number 10. But as you can see, Baloo Jr. working very nicely around those final couple of corners. Keeps it nice and clean on the exit. And across the line he goes to start the final lap here at the Nürburgring for this morning. Down in towards turn 1 goes the reigning champion. And hard on the brakes, nice and smooth into that first hairpin. The truck will drop down. Then we have Jochen Hahn and Antonio Albacete next up. And they now make their way into turn 2. It looks like Antonio is trying to put that little bit of extra pressure on in the final moments of the race here. Antonio is wise to any tricks, and so is Jochen. The two of them have both been around doing this for a long, long time now, so they know exactly how this can go. Norbert Kish starting to slide and drift his way around turns 5 and 6. Fantastic to see it. He's really enjoying himself out there in the sunshine here today at this fantastic truck Grand Prix. Watch him out of here. He might just give it a stab of the brakes, loosen the rear end a bit, get back on the throttle, kick it back out. No drifting through there. And and I'm excited to see what he makes of this race victory. Like I said yesterday, every race win means something to Norbert Kish. Just because he wins a lot of races doesn't mean that they don't mean anything to him and the team. They celebrate every single one, whether it's a nice, what looks like an easy drive at the front of the field, or whether it's one where he has to fight through from further down in the order. He comes through the last corner here at the Nürburgring. He will light up the rears and slide across the line as Norbert Kish takes his 9th race win of the season, his 2nd of the weekend, and Reveix Racing get another trophy for the cabinet or the warehouse. And it's Jochen Hahn 2nd. Antonio Albacete will come home in 3rd position. And in 4th position will be Sascha Lenz. Mark Taylor takes the win in the Chrome class. Very well done to Mark. He'll be over the moon with that one. Bradley Smith is going to come home 2nd in the Chrome class. And John Newell will get onto the podium in Chrome as Lucas Hahn has been into the pit lane right at the end. I'm not quite sure why that is. He did get put under investigation for penalty markers, did Lucas. But then there was no further action. But he came into the pits right at the end there. That's an interesting one. We'll keep an eye on why that happened. We'll try and hear from him later on. But Norbert Kish takes another race victory. Like I've said, his 9th of the 2026 campaign. A very good result indeed. They're still finishing across the line. Louis Requenco there behind Emma Mäkinen. Stefan Kirsch will be 1 lap down. And Clemens Hecker and Steffi Halm did not finish the race. But there is your race winner, Norbert Kish, waving to the fans. Jochen Hahn 2nd. Antonio Albacete in 3rd place. Interestingly, 8th place went to Adam Lachko. So the 2017 European champion will start from pole position alongside Bradley Smith for the last race of the weekend. And Mark Taylor takes the race win in the Chrome class, with Bradley Smith in 2nd place and John Newell in 3rd. So again, another British podium in the Chrome class, emulating what we had during the 2nd race yesterday. Sorry, the 1st race yesterday. But that will mean that Mark Taylor goes to the top of the Chrome Championship by 7 points over John Newell. And looking at the result in terms of Chrome, trying to figure out where Stefan Fass will be, we'll have a look in a little bit. Antonio Albacete, Jochen Hahn and Bradley Smith are the 3 drivers that have been chosen by our panel to get your votes for the Goodyear Wingfoot Award. And you can vote now by scanning the QR code on screen. Pick your favourite of the 3, the driver that you think is the most deserving of that award for this weekend. Again, that is Antonio Albacete, Jochen Hahn and Bradley Smith. Antonio Albacete showing great pace this weekend. The team have worked really hard on the truck to keep it rapid as ever. Jochen Hahn, of course, turning around a difficult qualifying session to start the weekend to score major points and major results. And then, of course, Bradley Smith, who has, well, evaded the bad luck by the look of it so far this weekend and got some good podiums on the board. And I believe he'll have moved himself back up in the Chrome Championship into 3rd position. Like I say, I'm going to have to check the Chrome results with where Stefan Fass was in that one, because Lucas Hahn at the moment is classified in 4th place ahead of Jonathan Andre, Luke Garrett and then Stefan Fass. So by the look of it, Bradley would be ahead of him by 3 points. We'll figure it out though, and I'll confirm it later on. Of course, there might be a few bits of movement in there with the Chrome class and with the penalty, well, the lack of penalty for Lucas Hahn. It could be a bit of an interesting one. There's Norbert Kish opening the door, letting some, well, potentially cooler air into Baloo Jr., the big red MAN, and he will step out and celebrate another race victory. His 9th of the season, the 10th time that we've had him in the top 5 out of 11 races, and his 9th podium result. And a big hug to the team. Something fell on the floor, I'm not sure what, but handshakes and hugs all round for the ever hard-working Reveix Racing. Chaba gives him a good debrief, and a lovely shot there of the teams gathered around the trucks that have made their way into the pit lane. You have our overall top 3 and then our Chrome top 3 as well. John Newell will be happy with another podium, maybe a bit unhappy that he's lost the Chrome Championship lead, but he knows it's going to be a big fight. Let's have a talk with Norbert Kirsch, who's just won another race.
Here we go. There you go. Just letting Norby take his take his gear off. How was that for you? That was nice and plain sailing for you, wasn't it, that one?
Good race, you know. I think good start. Behind was quite close in the Mercedes arena.
Yeah.
But just, you know, not close enough. So it was good enough start. And then in the middle sector I could start to pull away a little bit. And then I saw a truck standing still in the circuit, yes, in one of the TV screens. So I was just like, oh no, it's gonna be red flag. But then there was no red flag. So, you know, I could keep building the gap. And yeah, good race, good performance, very good job from the team again. So thank you to the guys and Reyes Racing, you know, because it's you know, working really nice.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Orb. We're going to let you head over to the podium now, but I'm sure you're very hot as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There we go. Right, everyone's going to be heading over to the podium right now. So, Chaz, I'm going to head back to you.
Thank you very much, Louise. And yeah, Norbert Kish taking another, definitely what looked like a plain sailing race from the front row of the grid, and then to take the win. And well, let's have a look at the official results of that race, shall we? We'll see just how this is calculated. I'm interested to see where Lucas Hahn is considered here. He is in 10th place because he did cross the line through the pit lane. It's Norbert Kish taking the win, 5.2 seconds clear of Jochen Hahn, with Antonio Albacete scoring another podium for this weekend. Him and Jochen have basically swapped places on the podium in races 1 and 3. Sasha Lenz, 4th place for him. Not a bad result at all, but with the 4th place, he will be... Oh, I'm just going to check the points in a little bit. I'll do it later. Mark Taylor is 5th. He now takes the lead in the Chrome class, and a great 5th place overall for him as well. Overall top 5 is always good. He was ahead of his teammate, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. Bradley Smith up in 7th place after a busy race there as well, with Adam Lachko in 8th position. He'll be on pole position, and Bradley Smith alongside him on the front row for race number 4. We then have John Newell, and he will be alongside Lucas Hahn on the 5th row of the grid. And then the drivers outside of the points were Jonathan Andre, Rene Reinert with the drive-through penalty, Luke Garrett in 13th ahead of Stefan Faas, Emma Mäkinen finished just ahead of Louis Requenco in that one, and Stefan Kirsch also had a penalty which dropped him a bit further down. Let's have a look at some highlights from that 3rd race of the weekend, the first race of the day here on Sunday. It was Norbert Kish and Jochen Hahn, an iconic front row that we see many times these days, rejoining each other at the front. And it was Norby that kept the inside line and led us away. But contact between teammates Steffi Halm and Lucas Hahn meant that Steffi would eventually retire from the race after just 2 laps with big damage to the side. Luckily for the rest of the field, no red flag, as Norbert Kish alluded to there. He managed to see it while still driving. Big contact between Louis Requenco and Stefan Kirsch after the Spaniard lost control under braking. And then the battle started between Adam Lachko and Lucas Hahn. Lucas chased him for the whole race, trying to find a way through, and it gave us some wonderful slow-mo shots of the two machines bouncing and wiggling their way through the chicanes. Great opportunity to see how the suspension works. Norbert Kish continued to streak away at the front ahead of Hahn and Albacete, who were staying close together, but it was the Ivecos of Lachko and Hahn that were staying close as well in the mid-pack. Mark Taylor had his rear-view mirror full of his teammate Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, but would stay there in top 5 position for the remainder of the race. Jose Eduardo, try as he might, slide as he might, could not get through. Lucas definitely had a windscreen full of Lachko, but John Newell was starting to fill his rear-view mirrors into the later stages. John was not able to get a move done, but would still go on to finish on the podium in the Chrome class and score some all-important championship points. Race 1 and 3 of the weekend, of course, you score more points than races 2 and 4, so this was the time to do it, and John certainly put in a solid drive. Norbert Kish, though, at the very front, as ever, putting in a stellar performance, didn't put a foot wrong throughout, and managed to take what would be his 9th race victory of the year. He had a good slide on the final lap as well, just to show it off a little bit and do some drifting, but the showmanship of Norbert Kish never ends. It's always good fun to see. Jochen Hahn and Antonio Albacete follow him home, and this is how the championship will look after that one. a good chance for me to check that I've got my maths correct. Norbert Kish now 153 points. A fantastic season so far. Sascha Lenz does hold on to second in the championship on 96, with Antonio Albacete still third, 4 points ahead of Jochen Hahn. But look how close those guys are. 7 points separating second, third and fourth. Like Jochen said earlier, he feels those guys are all on a very similar level, so it's exciting to see how the rest of the season goes with those guys fighting over that. Steffi Halm in 5th place on 66 points. She's 9 points clear of Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, who now moves back in front of René Reinert. Mark Taylor holds on to 8th position ahead of Lucas Hahn, while John Newell continues to enjoy himself inside the top 10 of the championship. He's just 2 points clear of Bradley Smith now, who is in 11th, 9 points ahead of Stefan Faas. Luke Garrett is in 13th place ahead of Stefan Kirsch, tied on points. Louis Requenco 15th. Adam Lachko now has 3 points to his name after that result in 8th position. Now Jonathan Andre completes the now 17 drivers that have scored points for this season. Let's have a look at Chrome, shall we? Because it's all change here. Mark Taylor takes the lead on 121 points to the 114 of John Newell, with Bradley Smith now moving up to third ahead of Stefan Faas. Lucas Hahn is in 5th position, just 9 points back. We then have Luke Garrett in 6th place, 10 points behind. Louis Requenco is 7th. Jonathan Andre next up ahead of Stefan Kirsch. Clemens Hecker, who was fighting for the championship not too long ago, it feels, was down in 10th place. He's having a difficult season so far. And in her first weekend of the season, Emma Mäkinen has scored 10 points in Chrome so far. We'll have to see how Emma gets on in the final race of the weekend. And we have the wonderful Patrick Jarzynski back on the podium to do the announcing over at the presentation. And he will now give us the top 3 from the overall podium, and then, of course, from the Chrome podium as well. First up is Antonio Albacete, 3rd in the championship at the moment, Antonio. And he'll be very happy to be back on the podium. He showed great pace this weekend. The truck feels fantastic underneath him. And I can tell you that means a very happy Tim and Melanie as well. Jochen Hahn is next up onto the podium. Truck 2 takes P2. And he gets a big cheer from the fans local to him here. And don't forget, those 2 drivers are up for the Goodyear Wingfoot Award. You can vote on those with a QR code that will be on screen throughout the 4th and final race. But Norbert Kish makes his way onto the podium once again. Hungarian flags flying for him. And his 9th race victory of the season is a very good one indeed. And you can see just how happy he is to be up there and celebrated by his Hungarian fans. And now we will get the Hungarian national anthem. And there, a round of applause for Norbert Kish. Fantastically framed there between those 2 huge flagpoles that we have. It's very good to see. And I just heard there, I'm pretty sure, that Pamela Paratico will be giving the trophies out to the drivers. We interviewed her on Friday. She was fantastic in front of camera. And it's good to see that she's involved in the podium presentations as well. There's little Teo enjoying the fact that Antonio is up there on the podium. Fantastic. Jochen Hahn receives his trophy for 2nd position. Another wonderful result for Jochen. And another trophy to go in what must be an absolutely massive place to keep them all. And your race winner in race number 11 in 2026 of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, Norbert Kish takes another trophy home with him. He's got another opportunity to score another one today. And the guys will have their pictures taken on the top step with their Goodyear caps. And then it's time for the always traditional changing of the caps. Unless Jochen drops his. It was a very acrobatic jump there for Jochen. I think they are doing the changing of the caps. I think Patrick threw them off there by announcing the champagne. Now they're going to soak each other with champagne, I believe. Maybe not soak each other because of the overalls. They need keeping clean for later on in the afternoon. They'll soak the fans and the media down there. Very good stuff. I dare not imagine the amount of podiums that those three drivers have between them. It will be an absolutely colossal amount in the years combined that those three have been racing here. 13 championships between just Norbert Kisch and Jochen Hahn. 3 more championships when you add in Antonio Albacete as well. It's a massive, massive number spanning over the last couple of decades. Patrick will now welcome up the 3 British drivers that make up the chrome podium again. And first off is John Newell. 3rd position for him. Another bit of silverware to take back to our small island. And more championship points when he really needs them are going the way of Bradley Smith, who makes it up to the 2nd step of the podium. Him and John didn't get a chance to have a scrap in this race like they did in races 1 and 2. But again, Bradley knows there's still work to do to catch another particular British driver, Mark Taylor, who is now back in the driving seat of the Chrome Championship. He goes to the top, and the reigning Chrome champion hopes to do it once again here in 2026. And now we will have the British national anthem for our race-winning driver. And there you go, the British national anthem. A good time to note that it was considered that Jude Bellingham would be considered as one of the Wingfoot Award nominees, but apparently we're not allowed to do that here at the Nürburgring this weekend. John Newell gets a 3rd place trophy for his troubles in that race. He was sat behind Lucas Hahn and Adam Lachko for quite a while, hoping to gain an extra place. Didn't quite work out for him. Bradley Smith must be tired today, Bradley. He doesn't seem too happy with 2nd place, but I think it's because he knows where he can be considerably up here on the podium with these guys. He's had a bit of a rough season so far. Mark Taylor now takes his 5th win in 7 races here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and the time he didn't win one of those races in the last 7, he finished 2nd. And, well, in another one he got disqualified, but we won't talk about that. Time for champagne for the top 3 in Chrome. I don't think, again, they're going to spray each other because they have to keep the overalls nice and clean for later. But very well done to all 3 of them. Some more solid championship points on the board. Like I said, races 1 and 3, very, very important for those championship points. They score more in races 1 and 3 than they do in 2 and 4. And those guys will head back to their teams, back to the paddock, and go and enjoy themselves for the remainder of the afternoon, until we have, of course, the next race of the day. Just bringing up the timetable to let you know when we will be back for the next race. In fact, Louise will tell you that in a little moment, because she is going to interview Mark Taylor first.
Nice one, Jazz. Thank you very much. Mark, how are you feeling?
Yeah, good. We've had a good first race. Makes up for the last race yesterday. The team has worked hard to find the problem with the limiter, but we've found the problem. We've been out on free practice. Everything seems good, and we've had a good race. So hopefully, it's same again race 2.
Exactly, yeah. So it's coming up, and I feel like that was nice for you. It was quite plain sailing for you, wasn't there? Wasn't too many Aggie things going on as well.
No, it were good. I know I was good. I had my teammate behind me. I know we would have no trouble between us. So just keep on the track, keep it going, and we'll all finish good.
Absolutely. Well, Mark, congratulations, and thank you so much, and we will see you in race 4. Thank you very much. There we go. And of course, we've got another one for you here right now. Bradley, come on in. Bradley Smith here for you. How's that feeling for you? Good?
Yeah, no, it was a good race. I was lucky in turn 2. A few of them got together, but managed to sneak through and stay out of trouble. And then you had a nice gap behind me, a little gap in front. So for 2nd in Chrome, let's just bring it home.
And John Newell left you alone this time as well, which was nice for you.
Yeah, race off without John. So yeah, no, it's good. I enjoyed it. So just our goal was just finish all 4 races this weekend. We've had a bit of a nightmare this year, haven't we? So yeah, no, happy. The team's done a great job. So bring on race 4 on the front row.
Nürburgring's the one, eh?
Yeah, thank God.
Okay, thank you so much, Bradley. Cheers. Take care. There we go. So, race 4. We've got this all to play for. We're going to have to see how that goes. And make sure you come back to us at 3:40 because we are going to be bringing you all the stuff from race 4. I will see you then.